Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Jamie, and this will be a rising reading. So if your rising is Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius, these readings may resonate for you. So for those of you that are not new here and don't want to listen to all the riffraff, you can just go straight to the description or to the comment section. Everything's timestamped. You can just go straight to the sign that you're looking for. For anybody that's new here, there are some rules to the tarot. First of all, it's a collective reading, so if you feel like it's not your reading, please don't get offended. Just discard it. It's just for someone else. Only take a reading if it's for you, and take it however it resonates for you. There is no gender in tarot, so if I pull a queen, I could be talking about a guy and vice versa. It's all about a person's personality traits. I do take private personals. The information's in the description below and in the pinned section of the comments. You'll see in there that I've also linked some of the channel's subscribers' small businesses. If you go to my homepage and scroll to the bottom, you will see my featured channel section. Those are readers that I do highly suggest. You'll also find there my other channel. It is a Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus channel as far as tarot goes. We also do tarot lessons. We have a book club. So if you're interested in any of those things, even if you don't have a major Cancer placement, come check us out. So we're starting off here with Aries. So folks, if you don't know your birth chart, I guess I should have mentioned this before, that, I'll link a great website right in the description below. If that's still not making sense or you don't know how to use it, Justin from the Chariot and Friends, he does birth charts. He's great with astrology. You can hit him up and get a reading from him to figure out what those placements are and what they mean. For everyone else, if you want, you can use the website. You just put in where you were born and the time, and it gives you all that information. So of course, your rising sign is about the energy that you put out in the world, so it's really about how other people perceive you, and that's what we're looking into here. So it is kind of interesting. Because I feel like there's extreme duality in the way that people are perceiving you currently. Here's why I say this based off of the oracle. So we have splitting. And of course, splitting is like idealizing and devaluing. It's seeing things as all good or all bad, seeing people as all good or all bad, seeing yourself as all good or all bad. And I feel like that has been your history. Very black and white thinking. And we have anxiety, anticipates impending danger, catastrophe, or misfortune. So I feel like, this is the type of trait where other people would see like, maybe stubbornness, but like with real fear behind it. But also seeing this change because we have transform and we have meditate and contemplate new moon in Pisces. Some of you have a moon in Pisces. And what people are seeing is that you're actually doing something to change this. I feel like you have some type of like spiritual guidance or practice that you follow, and it's really helping you to transform. And then, we have this card, Cat, independent. You are a natural healer. Your intuition is strong. You don't have to go with the crowd. Life supports you in every way. So I do feel like whatever you have been doing here is pretty unconventional. But I feel like it took you from, I would say, like a very codependent type of person, someone that would get into like very one-sided relationships, maybe even just see things from one side, or just literally recklessly worried that something bad is going to happen all of the time, and you know, anticipating that fear, almost making it happen. So I do feel like most of you, the sun at the bottom, have really like looked into this, like whether you've gotten some type of treatment, or like you just really started looking into, you know, this type of thinking pattern. Give me the energy here for Aries rising. So people see the change though. Like you really, the Eight of Cups, the Two of Wands, the Five of Swords, the Six of Pentacles. The King of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, and at the bottom we have the Nine of Cups. And here's the Moon, that Pisces energy, very prevalent in this reading. Excuse me. Yeah, I feel like there, you know, somebody became really self-aware here, and it's like they really made a decision to emotionally detach to some things that they were clinging on to that actually were causing, you know, sabotage in life. I feel like, again, participating in really one-sided relationships, you know, maybe really being involved in a lot of disagreement, argument, wanting to win at all costs type of attitude. You know, I feel like really stepping out and choosing to grow up. And I feel like this actually took you being alone for a while. I don't feel like this Five of Pentacles is here for any financial reason. I feel like you may have really like pulled away from society here, especially with the Eight of Cups. I feel like you did. You just kind of like pulled back your energy. You kind of like walked away from society for a little bit and sat with your emotions and really tried to figure out where the deep-seated problem was here. And I feel like in the process of doing that, not only did it work to help change you and transform you, although I still feel like there are some effects that you're also aware of. Like you, I think, are aware that you do have anxiety, you know, but also that this splitting that takes place is something that's very hard to actually overcome, you know, and I feel like that's where the end result progress is. Like those are the two things that, you know, I feel like you feel like when you were showing up to other people were the biggest problem, you know, not being able to see like an integrated whole person, right? You know, either a person was perfect or they were just not. Anyway, I feel like that's healed. I feel like there's a lot of emotional intelligence here. So even if you still like have these things going on, it's like you're aware, you're able to control that and cope with it somehow. And I feel like whatever it is that you've learned to use to cope with it here now has you sort of feeling like you need to maybe show up and help others, you know. The Nine of Cups is about like, you know, of course, like fulfillment, you know, especially on an emotional aspect. But I feel like here there's like this literally like meditation that you use, or like real spiritual knowledge that you've picked up. And I feel like now, like your new ambition, instead of maybe becoming obsessed with people or becoming obsessed with things that just don't serve you, you know, instead I feel like you're ready to become obsessed with something that is deeply profound and healing to you. Like this is the energy that you're putting out into the world now, despite where your energy was before. And so it's like people have to take your advice because they see that this works. Like you are solid proof. And I like that. feel like you're very aware of like your shadow side and like the worst parts of yourself. Okay, what's the advice here? Dramatic. You have the Three of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, and I don't know what this is, but it wants to be out. The Ten of Pentacles. I feel like the advice is to go ahead and work with that energy. There is some type of like great success. Something that you'll value for the rest of your life, or maybe it'll break generational curses. There's something with this. Some of you are going to become a healer. Some of you are dipping into psychology, like you're about to really take some courses to, you know, help people with this, especially if it's like an anxiety disorder that like destroyed your fucking life. And, you know, you found like some of the skills were really useful, like they really have changed your life around, and you feel like it's so important because it's a group of people that maybe not everybody understands, but you are solid proof that whatever this is works, or it was the solid evidence to you that that is exactly what you need to be doing. And this is, you know, definitely a financial success. There's a 10-year plan here for somebody now. Beautiful. Very alchemical. So, take this off. It's pretty warm now. Tell me about Leo. How do people see Leo? That is amazing. Pulling Leo energy right off the bat. So we have, don't let pride get in your way. Full moon. Ugh, I cannot speak. Don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo. We have turtle, protection. You are a master of finding life's flow. Be in harmony with the rhythm and your path will unfold. Persevere and you will succeed. You have everything you need to be protected and happy. And that's given strength energy. We have journey, branch out to new worlds. Materialism, measuring one's personal achievements and success with material goods and luxuries. And we have identity confusion, has difficulties determining who they are in relation to others. I don't know, I feel like some people feel like, you know, like, I feel like you're actually a pretty confident, perfect person. I feel like you actually are secure within, like, and the way that you protect your energy may come off to other people like you're bougie, you know, or like you're Hollywood, like you must have yourself confused. Like, I think to other people this comes off as arrogance, but I think these people are genuinely, you know, most people are more confused with who they are. I think it's just more that you, yeah, I think you just make other people uncomfortable by just being your regular secure self. But other people see you, I think, as like materialistic or like, let's see. Tell me about this energy for Leo rising, please. Did it not? Guess not. Okay. So we have death, Scorpio energy, the Six of Swords, the Six of Cups, the Knight of Swords, the Star, Aquarius energy, the Seven of Wands, the Hermit, the Knight of Wands. Well, I feel like you've changed up the way that you really like communicate with people, because I think in the past you might have been like, you might have just sort of like maybe gave people too much information. There almost was like no forethought to it, you know. Maybe you felt like you were too vulnerable with people, or like, you know, that if you speak to people on an emotional level, like they don't really understand you. So I feel like instead it's so, you know, I'm kind of getting like, you know, you show up to work looking really nice, like you actually wanted to be there. You know, I'm feeling like this is like a heavy like work presence. You know, I don't feel like the people who are in your life genuinely see you like this. I feel like this is very much like a work presence, where it's like people think that you think that you're all that, and it's because you don't hate yourself. You know, you don't show up miserable and like, you know, bitching about your marriage and like making people at work listen to shit that they're just not fucking paid to listen to, you know. You're like, you're not, you wouldn't just let random people into your life, into your vulnerabilities in your business. So I think that you've learned lessons along the way of how to show up with people. So I feel like in your mind, part of protecting your energy is not letting everybody have access to who you really are as a person. You know, like your work persona is your work persona. You don't need friends there. And I feel like that's really how you do show up at work, and people don't like that. But, you know, I'm an old lady, you know, and I worked all kinds of jobs. And sometimes the worst thing that you can do is try to build a bond with somebody at work. That's when things get crossed, you know, and you know, it's just not something that you always want to do. It's like, you know, I really keep my work and my home life totally opposite. And I feel like here it really is like a learned thing. This is part of the transformation that you went through. You've realized in order to protect yourself, you have to be, you know, in control of who knows anything about you in your life, you know, and like, why would they want to know anyway? Like, it's not professional. I feel like that's, you know, but people don't see it that way. They see you as like arrogant or like above them, when really I think that they just can't understand when somebody really is like professional and protecting their professional image. And I think that's what it really comes down to. You have like a lot of hope, a lot of ambition in whatever it is that you do. And I feel like this is really, even though there's not pentacles out there, I'm kind of getting work vibes. But I feel like there's this almost like jealousy from other people based off of that confidence, you know. Like, first of all, I think that it does get attention in the workplace, you know. People see that you're not afraid to take on things, and I mean that's pretty much Leo energy anyway. They're not afraid to take on their responsibilities, and if they say they're going to do something, they're going to do it the right way, you know. So I feel like you take a lot of pride in your work, you take a lot of pride in your professional reputation, and you don't play that shit at work. You're not about to go there and do the impulsive, what you perceive as like weird, uncontrolled, and maybe even toxic, you know, ways that people show up at work. I feel like it's, to you, it's unprofessional, and to them, like, you're just bougie or like snotty, you know. And I don't feel like you're like, I feel like you are genuinely kind to people, but like you've really learned, and already, I mean, like if somebody feels like you're above them because you don't tell them all of your business, that's a fucking dangerous person to tell your business to, right? So, you know, the person at work that's telling you all of somebody else at work's business and you don't even know that person, like that's not somebody you know. So on a professional level, I think that you keep it funky, but maybe this is really like anybody who's not interpersonally connected with you. Maybe you don't just give everyone access to you and what's going on in your life as a way to protect yourself. It's just not anybody's fucking business. So we have the Fool and the Advice, Aquarius energy again, and the Empress. No, I feel like stick to your way of doing things. You know, first of all, I feel like it's gotten you a lot further. You know, it's like maybe other people, you know, the funny thing about the Fool is nobody can see his vision but him, you know, but like you can see the bigger perspective of things here. I feel like you're an Empress. You're not like, you know, trying to be in other people's business or anything. This is more like just being concerned with one's own abundance, you know, and prosperity. I feel like you feel like part of being in this Empress energy is keeping things lighthearted and maybe rebellious. Not in a bad way. Sometimes things are rebellious in a good way. I feel like you're like rebelling against unnecessary drama, a toxic workplace. You know, like you're doing things a different way, and if people don't like it, then fuck them. Really, they should be taking your lead. Okay. So hopefully that was helpful. I was saying, if these people are noticing your confidence at work, other people are too, like people that matter. Not Karen in the break room. Okay. So tell me about folks with a Sagittarius rising, please. Yeah, we're looking at how you show up in the world, how other people view you here. We're kind of looking at any advice. Okay, interesting. So we have dolphin, play. Swim in the happy joy of living, inhale confidence and exhale fear. Dive into your wisdom, go with the flow. A new start is coming. Resilient, empathy. Understands, has an awareness of, or is sensitive to, and vicariously experiences the feelings, thoughts, and experiences of others. Tolerance. Has a fair and objective attitude toward points of view different than one's own, and passive-aggressive, avoids conflict, indirectly conveys negative emotions instead of openly communicating. So I feel like some people actually they see you as, I think, actually empathetic and tolerant, you know, and I feel like there's a passiveness to you. It could sometimes be received as passive aggression, but I feel like it's more like passiveness, which is different, because passive aggression kind of comes in with, like, you know, sometimes doing something out of retaliation or something like that. But this is, I think, more of a passive energy. So people see you as actually being strong in character. One is, I think that you exude confidence. You're not afraid to start something new, or to me, it feels like change the viewpoint of others by meeting it with some type of compassion. And I feel like this is something that really is key in the world, but lacking. So you have this wisdom to you, but also a playful energy. And it's giving me Fool with a new start is coming. But, you know, I feel like people think you wouldn't hurt a fly, and that you really, excuse me, that you don't like any type of conflict, and that, you know, you really do have deep empathy. That mean, you know, like, so you're seen really as like a good person. It's Tell me about this energy for Sagittarius rising, please. We have the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords. For some of you, this is actually something that you, this new start is coming. This may be something that you're actually taking out into the world. Like you may be starting a new job where, you know, maybe not even a new job, but a new project or a new passion that you have where it's like, I feel like you're knowledgeable, like on setting boundaries, how to treat people, and you know, the Queen of Swords is very much about listening on a communication level. You know, she takes in information, but also puts it back out there. So I feel like these are skills that you've learned, and people are actually kind of blown away by like what you do know here. But I feel like this is something that you're putting out pretty publicly, like people know about you. And there seems to even slowly be like some money building here. But I feel like somebody's very wise, like they've learned how to, you know, set boundaries, how to show up in a manner that is receptive instead of like reactive. And I feel like what it is here is teaching people to be more passive, to not be so reactive, and the power within it. And I feel like for a lot of you, this is like very healing energy. Like whatever you're doing with this, people, they like this energy. They like to listen to what you're saying. It's like very practical, good knowledge, but I think it also challenges the way that they perceive the world and the way that they think. And so it actually is life altering, not just to you, but to other people. It could also be someone who's telling their story, you know, for the first time. The Ace of Swords, the Queen of Swords, or maybe they've kind of been doing this, but now they're getting like very authentic with it. They're not so afraid, you know, and they're like listening to others, putting information out, you know, about their story, and this is helping other people to get through something here. So we have the Emperor, Aries energy, the Two of Swords, Judgment, bottom of the deck, the Two of Cups. Sorry, this is the Two of Wands. I said the Two of Swords. I really get the story of someone like teaching people, you know, to choose their battles, to kind of be more in control of themselves and their lives and their behavior, you know, the Emperor energy. I'm getting kind of two different timelines. I'm getting some people that have already sort of like put work into gaining the knowledge on how to put out there. And now a lot of people need to take the action. It's like they actually have to choose to now act on it. It's like you already have all the information that you need. And maybe this is confirming to those people that like what they are putting out here is very healing and people will love it. I'm getting two different timelines. Some people have not started this yet. Some people have, you know, at least on taking in the information. So, you know, for some of you, there's one step left, and that's to, you know, apply this, you know, put it out there. The Ace of Pentacles. Take the opportunity to try to make some money off of it. Take the opportunity to, you know, connect with somebody on an emotional and mental level. For others, it's like you have to start gathering this information now so that, you know, you can get to where you're going here. So now is the time to really kind of look at this as a serious future perspective and make the choice to really align yourself with what you're asking for here or what you want to do, because now is the time. You know, there's two aces and two twos and a Judgment, and I feel like it all just comes down to you deciding. What's the advice here? The Four of Swords, the Six of Pentacles. To me, the advice is that you need to take time to really sit out and think about like where you should place the time and energy in this. I feel like, you know, for those of you where this is just an idea that you have and you haven't really started with the taking in the skills, you know, really sit down and make sure that, you know, you space out some time. You know, this would be like if I wanted to become a tarot reader, but I don't read tarot cards. I'm going to have to take a little bit of time out every day to get that skill and brush up on it and then kind of go from there, you know? That's obviously just me, you know, trying to give an example, but or if I have already learned all the meaning of the cards and how to put them in a spread, now I just have to like go out there and show the world that I do it. But I feel like this is more like needing to sit down and really figure out the time and energy and where you can place it into this. Because I feel like for some of you, it's like, this is an idea, this is something you want to do, but maybe you keep making up excuses like, oh, I don't really have the time, you know, like I'm always working. I feel like you do have the time. For instance, right now you're watching a freaking tarot video. That's a little bit of time, right? But really where to place your time and your energy, because I feel like where you feel led to go is the Ace of Pentacles. And right now you're kind of like struggling, you know, it's like you're not really doing what you love to do. It's not what you really want to do, you know. And I feel like here you just need to take some time out and make a more practical plan of this so that you can put it in motion. Okay. That is what I have for my fire babies. I'll see you guys soon.